There we go. We got Mike on 2. Go to 1. Okay.
Bam.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, wham.
we gotta do like a 90s intro.
Right?
Listen. Yeah.
I like it.
A little 90s intro.
Yeah.
You want to save randomizer questions for after?
Yeah.
We'll do that
Yeah,
after.
we can kind of do out of order, and then I'll just put it together afterwards.
Let her pick. How many numbers you got to pick for a randomizer?
Wait, the randomizer was the one that we were putting together, right? It was 16 questions. The interview questions?
No.
Wait, the same randomizer or a different randomizer?
Remember, we didn't get to all of them. Remember, we got 40 of them joints.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Yeah. We got a whole. Remember, I made the other list.
That's right. I don't even have.
I'll send it to you right now. I got you. And then she got to pick 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is usually how we start the podcast.
Okay.
So
just
just,
randomized questions.
Yeah, we should just
I'm here
randomize
for it.
But this time we saving that for the end, though.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
get the
yeah.
serious stuff.
Yeah, we get the serious stuff.
We got to do the serious stuff first.
You gotta get your fun fact.
Oh, yeah, I got that
And
already.
I got something cool. I got a
Oh, come on. Why did she not send that?
Yeah, I didn't even ask for anything prior. I was like, we're just gonna flow.
Yeah, no.
I was like, yeah, it's more
Yeah.
natural that way. Sometimes when it's like you get the questions beforehand, I feel like it's like premeditated responses.
You overthink it as well.
just
And then you
like-
come in and try to like memorize like what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say?
Right. It's
Yeah.
like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's too much thinking. I don't like to think too much.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You say pretend the camera's always on?
That's what I always do.
Yeah.
And I always feel like every time I got walk, whatever, trying to be like main character tendencies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you kind of get in the zone.
It's like a psychological thing.
You kind of get in the zone. Yep.
It tells your mind when
Yep.
when you're really on camera.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
You can't do
We out here.
Mm-hmm.
All
Pick
right.
any
So
10 numbers you want from 1 to 37.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
you're gonna write it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
10 numbers, right?
Any 10 numbers from 1 to 37.
Okay.
Somewhere.
All right. So I'm gonna do 6,
Okay.
7.
Yep. 6, 7.
Yeah. 10.
Okay.
10.
21.
Let's do 21.
Okay. 21. 3 more.
I was thinking of the meme.
How many more?
3 more.
3 more?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'll do. You said 37 is the
Yeah, that's the last
cutoff,
number.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'll do 30.
Okay.
29
Okay. And one more.
and 4.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Are these
Back-
new questions?
One back
Yeah.
down.
Remember, only me and you have answered those so far. No guess.
Oh shit! I forgot
Yeah.
about
Uh-huh.
this. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Exactly.
One right there where we had like a soundboard.
Exactly.
Should I be nervous?
No, never nervous. Never nervous.
Nerves.
No.
All right.
Okay.
Eventually, we're gonna do this
Let
in
me see.
onesies, so it'll be fine. You'll be okay.
You speaking for yourself.
Come on, like a Knicks onesie? No.
No.
Like a basketball or like a
Mm.
no.
I'm gonna look like a basketball. You're right.
No.
Big ass orange basketball coming out. Like a Christmas ornament. No.
Hope not.
Listen,
Oh no, you got some good. Oh yeah, she got good questions.
you got a good question.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
she got good questions.
I picked well.
All right.
Picked very, very well.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So you got the fun fact. That
Oh wait,
we're gonna-
let me make sure it's all the way. Hold on.
Okay.
Got you right now.
This is me right there, right?
What's up?
If I wanted to look
Yeah, that's your camera right there.
perfect.
Or if you're unsure, you can you see all 4 screens?
Yeah.
Because yours is far left,
Got
Yeah.
okay. Perfect.
So- right there.
Got it.
All right. Oh, I got to intro the podcast. Okay. And action. Welcome to this. She's making me nervous.
All right. I won't look at you. I'm
I don't know how
sorry.
to do this.
I'll do it. You want me to do
got
it?
it.
No, I got
All
it.
right. Well, welcome to the 60 plus Do I say 60? Is it 60 Plus Podcast?
Yes.
Welcome to 60 Plus Podcast.
What changed? We changed the name.
I don't know. I am Amir,
I'm Mike.
and today we have Mo.
Clap it up, 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 clap it up.
Extraordinaire.
Yes,
Hi,
yes, yes.
guys.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
You for
Clap louder, Will.
having me.
There we go. Thank you.
There we go.
Echo in the mic. All right.
Yes.
Well, talking about Mike. Mike, start us off with your fun fact.
Fun fact of the day, since we're dealing with a person in mental health, let's start with a mental health fact.
Mental health fact it is.
Kellogg's cereal originated from Dr. John Harvey, Kellogg's Health Sanitarium in Battle Creek, Michigan, where he and his brother Will Keith Kellogg experimented with grain-based food for patients. An accidental overnight resting of wheat dough led to the discovery of flakes, which were initially bland but became popular, with Will later refining the recipe with sugar and launching the commercial Kellogg's Toasted Flake Company.
Wow.
So cereal, the reason why we have cereal is because of crazy people.
Really?
Yeah. So
I
you
was lost halfway through that. I was like, how'd you get on cereal?
Yeah.
Right.
That's how we have cereal. So basically the stuff was left out one night, and when you would shake it out, it turned out into flakes. So they poured the stuff on it, and his brother had to convince him to sell it. He didn't want to sell it. So it took his younger brother to convince him, like, yo, we have a product here. We can make cereal and sell it for people for breakfast. And there you go.
They were moving white.
But then the funny part about it, it gets even deeper. Yeah, have you ever heard of grape nuts?
Yeah.
No.
Grape nuts is technically the first cereal because the guy who discovered cereal, he was working in said sanitarium. So he was working there, saw that they were eating cereal every day, left, and was like, okay, I have a cereal for y'all. Here's grape nuts. And that's why we have grape nuts. And grape nuts is like the first cereal ever sold.
Fun fact. They call that a
Major.
double header.
There you go.
That is a fun
Jesus.
fact. I didn't know anything about that. So
I had no idea.
yeah.
We owe cereal.
So for me, I did a historical fact. I think a historical fact from therapy.
Yeah.
So Sigmund Freud, we all know,
Yes.
he changed mental health treatment in the late 1800s by introducing psychoanalysis. You probably know this
Yeah.
stuff. And of course he knows this stuff.
Yeah.
he believed many thoughts and emotions live in the unconscious mind outside of our awareness. Freud argued that childhood experiences strongly shape adult behavior and emotional patterns. He used dream analysis as a way to uncover hidden fears and desires. Before this, treatment focused on control or punishment rather than understanding. For the first time in history, talking itself became the treatment, laying the foundation for modern therapy.
Sigmund Freud.
That is interesting. You
Yeah.
just gotta.
He's the one that said that you like your parents. Is that him?
Yes.
Is that him?
That's him, right? He the one that say like you fall in love with like your
GPT right here.
right. You fall like in love with your parents or something like that. Like the
Yeah.
person you end up liking is like your parents or something.
Yes. Yeah. There's a term for it. I can't remember the exact term right now, just because there's so many.
Right, it's
out
mad
there.
stuff.
But yeah, where like the boy child may start to like look at his mom in a certain way, and then the girl child, it can also be reversed, where the girl child may look at the father in a certain way. So it's interesting. But this was his like
Regular thoughts.
philosophy, his
it-
thoughts. This isn't like universal
Right.
to all like
Thank goodness,
you know,
right?
to all like psychoanalysts
Mm-hmm.
of that time. But Freud definitely had some interesting, just as it relates to like the psychosexual element of things and how that affects people.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was an interesting one for sure.
He's that one. And then the dog man is Pavlov. I remember him.
Yes.
Pavlov.
When you hit the bell and the dogs would salivate because they was expecting
'cause they
something.
thought they were gonna eat.
Yeah. See, I paid attention to intro to Psych 101. I paid attention.
I'm like, yeah,
I
that's
took
good.
5 psych classes. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Did
yeah,
a little bit of attention. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
that's good.
The days I ain't cut. All right. Hey, man, the days we didn't cut. The days you were actually in class.
Exactly. So before we actually get to the questions, I think I may have like an intro question.
Yeah.
What actually drove you to the field of psychology?
Oh, I love that question. Yeah, I think it's so interesting because I think the first time I ever said I wanted to be a therapist, I was in 7th grade, right? So, like middle school, 7th grade, we don't know anything, right? Like we're just like living. Life isn't really too heavy yet. I mean, at least for some, right? Because some people go through trauma early. But for me, how I describe it now is I feel like it was a calling for me, because in 7th grade, I was just like, I was that shoulder to lean on from my friends starting from then. So like my friends was going through like little things like boy stuff, drama, maybe sad here and there. And I was always just like that shoulder. And then I was like, I could get paid to do this. Like from that young, like when I think about it now, when I think about 7th graders, like as an adult now, I'm like,
you don't got no clue what you want to do.
Literally, like you don't understand life at all. So it was just, so for me, I always like to look at it just a little bit more like in a spiritual way, because I think I'm just like, to have that like desire to want to help people from that young, I think is, it's kind of above me, honestly. So I think that was the first thing. And then I feel like my trajectory kind of like just followed suit from then on. Of course, like undergrad, psychology, right? Like, psychology 101.
That's right.
Right. And then after undergrad, did my master's program. And then now we're here. But I feel like that always was like in the forefront of my mind, like pursuing psychology. I mean, at one point I was definitely thinking about journalism. Like that was, there's a period in college where it's like you can be undeclared and then you have to decide. So I was like,
you're trying some stuff out.
Yeah,
Let's see what works.
Maybe journalism, maybe like media communications. I ended up minoring in media and communications. So that was something I was able to do, kind of get the best of both worlds. But yeah, psychology was always like,
Would you combine the two?
Oh, for sure.
Have you started writing your book?
Not yet. You know what? It's funny because I feel like I'm living out both of them now with like, me also having a podcast and that being like, me using that platform to talk about mental health. Like it kind of just, the way that it worked out, I don't think I could have foresaw it happening in this way where like I'm able to incorporate both things that I really enjoy and both, that I'm really passionate about. So yeah, I think, that was the start. Middle school, 7th grade, just being that shoulder, for the people around me. And then I think just being like, people talk about emotional intelligence a lot now, but I think there wasn't a name for it back then, but I think I had it from then. So I was just like, okay, I have this thing that I feel like I'm good at. So why not like see it all the way through,
Like you said, it was natural. It's like a natural, like a calling basically. Like,
exactly.
This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Let me follow this path.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
And the amount of schooling you did not deter you from, because I was initially also going to go to school for psychology.
Yeah.
But then when I looked into how much schooling you actually need for it, I said, no, thank you.
Intro to Psych 101 is enough.
Listen.
No, but I guess fine.
I got the book.
No, for sure. I have moments like that because I think after I got my master's, then everybody's like, oh, PhD. And I was like,
whoa.
You gonna do it? Because I am exhausted.
You got the money for it?
I am literally. It's like, I am tired. So I think like, yeah, at one point I was like, when is this gonna be over? Because even after you graduate from your master's program, you have to get clinical hours, right? And to be certain, like, the credentials in order to become licensed in whatever state you're in, right? Each state has like different, like protocol for what that looks like.
Right.
But even after you finish school, like there's still more like work
that you have to do
to get to a place where now you can maybe like just see like reward, right? Some like, money and things like that. But even then, every therapist's journey is different. So some therapists, they're like, they did all of this stuff and they may not necessarily be seeing a whole bunch of money depending on where they work. And then some may be seeing a lot of money because they, position themselves in a certain way or picked a certain job where...
Depending on your client base and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Right.
It fluctuates.
Got it.
So you think there is this big misconception because I would think like, oh, you get your PhD or you get your master's degree, you get into the therapy field, it's medical.
Yeah.
You out of the gate gonna be doing $70K a year type of thing. And I'm guessing that's not the reality of it.
No. A big no. I'm going to say that now.
Yeah.
No. Out the gate, no. I think you can absolutely build it and work yourself up to their $70K or more. I know therapists who are making like 6 figures, I know therapists who are making 6 figures and I know some therapists who are struggling,
Right.
who are kind of just getting by.
by.
Right? So it's really, it really depends. And I want to believe that if you have your PhD, you're probably doing financially well, because technically at that point you're doctorate level, right?
Yeah, you're
like,
full on
Yeah, but like, I guess I just don't know many that like have that experience. And I wish I could, like at least in the mental health field specifically.
Okay.
I wish I could give you like a solid, like, I know some PhD holders that are flourishing, but I don't, and that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I wish I knew more. And I'm sure they're out there. I guess I just wish, I could hear more of those stories.
It's like everything though.
Yeah.
It's like everything, like medical or specific fields. For example, like this month I start externship.
Yes.
Doctor's aide, medical assistant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free for now, and then when you eventually get hired, it fluctuates. So like some people got an offer at like $18.50 an hour.
Yeah.
And then some people might get an offer like 25. If you get one of the big hospitals, maybe you get close to 30.
Yeah.
But it's such a slow start.
Yep. Absolutely.
But it is progression, and you build, and you have to keep going. But
Absolutely.
it's such a big, because you think, oh, okay, because you get this, and you're in now, you're gonna start off at like 30, making this amount, and it's just
not that.
Absolutely wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover.
You can sell clothes on the side of the road and make more money than some medical aides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
And that's the problem. No, that don't make sense.
I couldn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
That don't make sense. It's like the same with teaching, though. It's the same thing. The most important jobs don't make any money.
No.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
It's very true. For sure.
But, let's get into our question segment.
Let's get into it.
Dun, 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 dun. So we could approach this the same way. She could just pick a number, and then we ask it.
Sure.
And then we see how that goes.
Sure.
Are you ready to...
You want to pick 5 of them?
We could do 5.
Okay.
Ready.
We could do 5 little questions.
All right. Your numbers are 1 through
16.
16. 1 through 16. So you pick any 5 numbers from 1 to 16.
Okay. I'm gonna do. Let's see. 2. 4.
Okay.
6.
Yep.
10. And 16.
Got it. So we will start you off. That's all right. What's one common misconception about the mental health space?
Ooh, I like that question. So I think a common misconception, I think we kind of just touched on one of them, right? That like therapists is making buku money and like, let me hold the dollar, right? People always think like, you got it.
Like we balling, right?
Right. That's one. I'm going to try to think of another one since we kind of just, I think a common misconception is that therapists have it all together. I think that is a big misconception, because I will tell you right here, right now, as nice as I look and as put together as I look, I have some days where I'll be like, whew, life should not be this difficult for me. Like, I know this, right? I know how to figure this out, but I'm having a hard time. And I know a lot of my peers can relate, right? Because I think it's like, like I think there's, because even if you think about anything else, right? Like maybe no, this may actually not be able to apply to everything else. I think for some reason, people just think you're a therapist, so your life should be in order, right? You shouldn't have the same problems that I have. You shouldn't be, and I guess I feel like we're looked at in a certain way.
Like the perfect model.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The perfect model, right?
When really the therapist has a therapist.
Listen, and if a therapist, this is what I always say this. If a therapist doesn't have a therapist,
get another therapist.
Get another therapist. I'm concerned because it's like, why? Unless they just stop seeing their therapist, whatever. But if this therapist has never been to therapy, they are just out here living. I'm always like,
red flag.
I caution that you don't go that route, because I don't know how they're able to navigate. Like, I've gone to therapy before. I'm currently in the process of starting therapy again. So I can tell you it's a lot, And so on top of, of course, holding space for others, which I think is an honor, right? I'll never I love what I do. So it's an honor to be able to hold other people's stuff,
right,
and help them through it. But when I going through my stuff, like it's pushed to the back burner, right? Like
Right.
I don't always get to deal with my stuff like efficiently, like adequately. It's kind of like
In a timely manner. You put your stuff to the side to help other
Exactly.
people.
Exactly. And then before I know it, I'm like, ooh,
I need help.
I need help.
I need help.
I need help. Or I just need like a vacay. I need people to stop talking to me. I got to turn my phone off. I need to sleep. Like it's, so I think that's a misconception that therapists just are like the model, example and don't have any issues. And I'm like,
They're humans.
we're human.
Right.
Even if their job is to help other people,
Yeah.
mentally, they still need to also be there mentally as well.
Yes. And I would actually even like just add to that too, that I think therapists being able to, I feel like the duality of it, like being able to like be like full humans, make them better at their job. That's what I think. Like I think like some people would say like, oh, well, why should I speak to you when you have these problems too? Or you're going through, and it's like, well, I'm able to get through them, right? I'm able to get on the other side. And then, as I'm like, say if I'm talking to a client and, I'm talking them through something in a clinical way, but I also am a human being in this space as well. So sometimes that can sometimes show up, and I try not to like tell my clients what to do.
Right.
Like, I try to, allow them to get there on their own. But there are moments where I have to like advise, right? And say something so that they get that like,
hey man,
yeah,
pay attention. That's
maybe not the way to go,
Right, right.
And that's far and few. But I do think like being well-rounded in this way, I think makes me better at my job. So yeah.
you think seeing a therapist who has probably like real world experience, is the best option. Like if you've gone through the same thing I've gone through, then going to you would be the best choice. Even if you're seeing a therapist as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like instead of seeing like a therapist who hasn't really gone through much, like he or she has nothing to go off of.
Yeah.
You want someone with lived experience.
Yeah, you want someone with lived experience. So like you've gone through stuff, you know how to deal with stuff, like you've gone to the other side of it. So as a client or potential client, it would be, I guess, my best interest to see someone who has gone through things.
You know what? I would say yes and no, right? Because I do think that the clients don't know that, right? The clients don't know that like I may have, because that happens sometimes. That comes up sometimes where it's like, oh, this is relatable. Or like I have overcome this, thank God, right? And
I've seen this example before with another person.
Yes, right. But the client doesn't know that, right? Because there's like therapists can't really disclose much, right? Like
you guys have HIPAA as well, or is it something else?
Yep,
It's
HIPAA.
HIPAA as well. Okay.
Yep, HIPAA, confidentiality policies, like code of ethics, like all of these things. So like the clients don't know much about the therapist at all, right? So the client is maybe just going based off of like whatever's in the bio from just like a very professional clinical standpoint. But I think in certain instances, the lived experience is helpful. Like there's an advantage to it. And then in other instances, I do think like having a therapist that like maybe is just like completely like unbiased and can't relate, the therapist can offer a completely different point of view and perspective. Whereas like someone with the lived experience, it can be like, this feels too, so
it feels too real. It feels too personal.
Yeah.
So the ignorance being bliss can be a massive benefit.
I think so. So it all depends. Like I think it's case by case,
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the next one.
Okay.
Has there ever been situations that were too much for you to handle? I.e. a client or whatever it may be.
Too much for me to handle. I like that one. That's a good question. I would say yes. Yes. This was probably my first job in the mental health field. Kind of just fresh off of like my master's program, first job. I was working in it was inpatient. So like the clients lived there, right? And but I of course would come in and go home and stuff. But they were more like high level. We would call them like they needed like a higher level of care, which is why they were inpatient.
Got it.
So a lot of the things that they would deal with were like suicidality, right? Drug abuse. They would, have a good stretch, a good period of like not using substances, and then one day they may go out or
Go off the deep end.
yes, and then they'll relapse, right, and come back. And there was like drug testing that was happening regularly and stuff. And I guess where it became too much for me was the place that I was working at the time was short staffed. So like a lot of, I was, I had like a full caseload, and I was kind of the main point person, in places like that. And I would classify that as like more of like a public place where like anybody can come in any day, right? Like,
Wow.
As
It was like an ER type of. You could just come in
yeah, kind of. Like it wasn't an ER, but it was just very much so like
a walk-in clinic.
yeah, like they can come in today, go through the whole intake process, and then they're in, right? But then, they can also decide tomorrow,
I want to be out of here.
right, I want to get out, right? So it was a thing where it was very like high level. There was a high level of stress there. These clients also could at times be like highly suicidal, right? At times too. So it was just making sure like I was dotting my I's, crossing my T's. And I feel like I was dealing with it kind of alone because they were so short-staffed, understaffed there. And so, yeah, I was just going home really like exhausted, stressed, and miserable every day. Like literally, I would cry to my mom. Like, oh, and my mom is a Caribbean woman. So she's like, girl, you better keep that job and make that money, girl. And I was like,
that you're not realizing.
I'm dying. My mental health declined while
Islanders don't care.
They don't.
They don't care.
My mom was like,
You got a job making money.
my mom is from Jamaica, okay? She was like, girl, get that good salary. And this was a salary paying job because now I work in private practice, which is, different. Like
this is better.
Yeah, the environment, like literally is like night and day. Like, and that's why, but some people love that. Some people love like the more public organization. Fast paced. They make their money, salary, and it's reliable. Private practice, your quality of life is better. Your mental health will probably be better. But it's it's per client, right? It's like you kind of build up your caseload. Clients essentially seek you out, and it could either be through like if you're on a website or a platform, like the mental health platforms that like you can find therapists on, like Psychology Today or BetterHelp or stuff like that, right? Like that is essentially like private practice-esque work, and like you just have more. It's more fluid, right? You can kind of create your own schedule, you can flow, but you have to build up your clientele on your own, right? Whereas in a public, organization, your clients are there. They're there. Even if you're like, ooh, I wish this could be a little less this week.
But this is what it is.
It can't stop, won't stop. It's gonna keep.
Got it.
Get it.
And then you said that was your first job coming out of your master's program. Do you think if you would have had that job maybe a few years later, you would have had a different experience with it?
I think so. Because the way I'm able to handle like stress from work now, because that job, I experienced burnout at a very intense level.
Right.
Like, I don't know, have you guys ever experienced burnout?
Yeah.
Okay. Just yes. I just had to make sure, because that feeling, it was hard to shake. Like for me,
I've been deployed. I've experienced burnout before.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to hear your story too. Okay, about that. But because that burnout it felt like it lasted like 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Like it felt like for me, I was like, I had no desire to do anything. Like I was just like, when will this go away? Will this go away? Like I honestly felt like a completely different person.
Right.
But then when it lifted, I was like,
you back to yourself again.
Yeah. I was like, now I need to get out of here because I don't ever want to feel that again.
Right.
It was difficult. So I think, I don't know if that answered your question. I'm sorry.
Yes, it did. No, it definitely did.
Yes.
Yeah. So then to piggyback off of that, has podcasting been good for your mental health? Like, has that been good for you, or has it been an outlet?
It has. I love podcasting. Like I've been podcasting now for about 5 years. I feel like I told Amir this a time ago, but when I first started, I was using it to just spread awareness about mental health. But then at the same time, it was an outlet for me because I don't know, like at one point in my life, I feel like growing up, I was pretty like reserved and shy.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm honest with you, I think there's a part of me that is still shy and like reserved, but people wouldn't think that because I have a podcast and it's on social media and it's
You sound like me.
that's why I'm like
Like, no, I'm an introvert for real. So
yeah,
trust me.
like seriously,
Yeah.
like sometimes I feel like I'm like I don't know, like I'm like, am I introvert? Like, because none of my friends, if you were to ask my friends, they're gonna be like, "Girl, you are not introverted." But I think I'm an ambivert. I would
Right.
say, like, I need my
Around certain people,
exactly.
we're gonna let it out.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
That's exactly it. So like podcasting has allowed me to express myself more as well
Mm-hmm.
and to just like show more of who I am. Whereas like I don't know that it would happen any other way because I'm naturally private and I'd be like, you don't need to know nothing about me. But but I think it's okay to share.
Right.
I think it's okay to let people in, you know, with discretion, right? Whatever you're comfortable with. So I think the podcast has allowed me to be able to do that, but it's also allowed me to like share space with other people
Mm-hmm.
and kind of allow them to do that where they may not do it either, right? Like people may not ever know all of the wonderful things that the people who've come on my podcast are into if it wasn't for the platform. So
Right.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there's probably someone listening that also feels reserved and shy about getting into the space.
Mhm.
What advice would you have
Ooh.
for someone just trying to get in who
Yeah.
feels the same way you do? Or
Yeah.
same way you did.
Yes. Yes. Because I definitely feel differently now. Thank you. I love that question. I would say take the risk, right? Take the risk. It might feel really scary. It might feel like you're kind of like jumping out of an airplane, right? But I think on the other side of that risk
Mm-hmm.
is like, you know, like essentially no reward without the risk, right? Like
Right.
like just kind of jump out there and like, you know, we could even get spiritual with it, right? Have faith,
Mhm.
right? Like jump out on faith, right? And
Mhm.
you know, if you have a vision for what you want, right? Like if you envisioning this podcast and like, you know, then let that kind of propel you forward, right? Like let your vision, your dreams, your goals push you to take the risk. And you'll get better with time. You know, because when I first started, when I tell you, I look back now and I'm like, oh God,
Uh-huh.
Cringe a little
please,
bit.
what was this?
Uh-huh. Like
Who
the fact that someone listened to this? Like,
Who
what's wrong
let-
with you?
Who let me do this? Who let me do this? Seriously.
Those are facts. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
Yeah. And the other part is like, I guess another, like just to add to that too, is like people don't care as much as you think they do. Right? That's what I had to realize. Like, as serious as I'm taking it, and as I'm shaking in my boots, putting out my first few episodes, people are just scrolling and they're like, oh, okay, she's doing something. All right, cool. You know, I don't think people are sitting there like, is this girl, you know, because sometimes
Nitpicking every
Yes.
little
Like
thing.
micro criticizing
Uh-huh.
what you're
exactly.
doing.
That's what we do. That's
what-
that
yeah.
internal dialogue, right?
Right.
But it's like people are not doing that.
No.
You know, so I would say just hopefully that helps to take the pressure off. Like just have fun with it, do it because you want to do it, and then, you know, on the other side of it will be like,
see what happens.
yeah.
Right.
See what happens.
Mhm.
Okay.
Has there been a circumstance where you've been like had somebody on the podcast and you've been like, oh wait, I just dealt with this with a client a week ago. Wait a minute, let me help you out real quick.
Oh my God.
Some free therapy.
Free therapy.
Oh boy.
Man.
You get this story?
Listen, the pro bonos, listen. There's a few. No, let me stop. No. So honestly, I can't think of anyone that I've had on the podcast where that's happened,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure there has been like some like parallels at one point. And I think I just kept it to myself. I just
Right.
swallowed it because I just gave them the space to speak freely.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and the thing is, I approach the podcast way differently than I do with clients. With
Yeah.
clients, I am way more serious, right? Like it's not as much like on the podcast, we laugh, we kiki, we make jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes there's like, you know, curse words flying. Sometimes here and there,
Right.
right? But like it's way more like laid back. Whereas with my clients, it's very much so like, I think I'm just more serious. That's
Right.
all. Like I approach it so I think, yeah, like if ever something has come up, you know, with like somebody I had on the podcast and they said something that I was like, this sounds familiar. I just gave them the space.
Like, go ahead.
Yep. Say it.
Uh-huh.
I know. Mhm.
What'd you get a
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So How does unresolved trauma quietly affect everyday behavior, even years later?
Ooh.
So I guess, yeah, unresolved trauma, you might think it's not a big deal. You put it to the side.
Yeah.
Maybe there's things that trigger it as
Mhm.
time progresses, but you still put it to the side because it's not a big deal. And
Mhm.
eventually you fill up that bucket of water and
Yeah.
it becomes too heavy for you.
Absolutely.
And that's what broke the camel's back. So
Yes.
how does that affect everyday behavior
Yeah.
from what you've seen?
I love that question. From what I've seen, and I think you actually just kind of like spoke to it too, is the triggers, right? Because I think the reality is like the trauma that happened, like in the moment, right? When whatever it was that happened, it happened in that moment, right? But then what kind of gets like stored in the body, right? Or the nervous system or, in your psyche or whatever is the memory of it, right? And so now, maybe you never dealt with it. You didn't speak to anyone about it. Something happened and you swallowed it. Or maybe you spoke to one or two people about it, right? But, maybe they didn't really, give you the help that you needed, right? To help you like really get through it. Now you're navigating life and then something happens and you're triggered, right? So now your nervous system activated, right? Your psyche is like you're not at your baseline, right? You're feeling more anxious, right? You may even, and anxiety and depression are very much so correlated. So
Right.
sometimes you could be feeling anxious and then maybe shortly after you start to feel depressed, right? Because they kind of are comorbid in that way. And then other times you could be dealing with depression. And then you start to feel anxious, right? And it's like, oh, I thought I had depression. Why am I feeling anxious now, right? And they kind of feed off of each other. So I think like the more that like unresolved trauma is stored in the body without getting addressed in a healthy way, the more you'll start to experience other mental health symptoms, I think. Just from like what I've seen, from
Because things pile on top of each other.
yeah, it's like it's not going anywhere.
It's the
not
same with your physical health. If you don't
Exactly.
take care of one thing, your physical health would deteriorate. So it's the same with your mental health. If you don't
Absolutely.
take care of that trauma,
Mhm.
then your mental health will go down.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think like, it's trauma, it does have lasting effects, but it doesn't have to create like a life that feels like, just like not good, right? Like you can very much so like, and even if you were to like be triggered, right? Because I do think like you can still get triggered like later on, but the way that you respond may look very different, right? Because maybe you've developed coping strategies, right? That you would have gotten by addressing the trauma in therapy, or maybe it's not therapy, right? Because for some people, therapy is not their thing, right? And I'm not always saying go to therapy first. I am pro therapy, so I'm like, go to therapy, but for some people, they have to do it in a different way first.
Right.
And then they may circle back. But I think like just finding whatever that healthier outlet is, I know like something that's been coming up a lot in my conversations or with people in like my peers, people in my my circles is like even like things like yoga, right? Or Pilates or Reiki or these other things that meditation, right? That like really help to like kind of just move parts of like the inner self, right? Where it's like, okay, that trauma doesn't have to be stuck there anymore, right? Or like, I remember there was a time I had mentioned this before, like I recently started kind of getting into yoga, and then, in one of the classes that I they did like some sound healing at the end of it. And I was just like there, and then the little tears started coming out, and I was like, am I crying? And I was like, I don't even think I realized like sometimes those spaces and those things like stir up things, right? It moves things that maybe you didn't even realize were there. And then before I knew it, I was just like, I'm like borderline about to start sobbing in this yoga class. And but they even talk about that too, that yoga can have that effect, especially when it's like your first time.
Yeah,
or
it's a lot of the deep breathing as well. That I used to do yoga before. When I was at LA Fitness.
Yes, absolutely. So I think like just figuring out whatever it is that can help you to deal with the trauma. Because if it stays stored, then it'll just continue to like wreak havoc on your nervous system. That's what I think.
Yes, it does.
So what do you say to those people that try like the brown noise and the green noise, and they try the yoga and they do the deep breathing, but that's not their thing, and that doesn't really work for them? What other like alternatives would you try to offer that person?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I would say, if this was like, I was about to say if this was my client, but I'm gonna just if that person has never gone to therapy before or anything, right? Like I would say, try therapy, right?
Right.
Or I would say, let's brainstorm together what you think could help, right? Because there are many options out there, right? It isn't always the what I like to call sometimes the woo-woo stuff, right? It isn't always that. Sometimes it's really sitting down and figuring out, well, what would help you to maybe just deal with this, right? In a different way. For some people, it's just exercise, right? Like I know men in particular, right? Men in particular, I know a lot of them, right? Use exercise as a way to release something, right? And I actually am in support of that. I think absolutely do that if that helps you.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think that is great. Is that therapy? No. Because I feel like some men say exercise is therapy. Basketball is my therapy. And it's like,
Martial arts is therapy.
yeah. And it's like you can say that, right? But in reality, it's not. But it's therapeutic for sure.
Right.
It's therapeutic and it has health benefits across the board and it has benefits for your mind, for your mental as well. Because it's all interconnected, right? Like the mind, the body, the spirit, everything is interconnected. So I still think you're getting benefits from doing those physical things, even if you never go to therapy. Yep.
Gotcha. Well, before Mike asks the last question, I do have a question from what we just spoke about. What race or group of people do you see the most unresolved trauma in? And do they actively try to take your advice if you give it to them?
Yes. I love that.
They take your advice?
No.
Oh, I was like, okay. I was like,
okay.
yes.
No, literally,
yes.
I'm like, yeah.
Good.
Yes. So the Black and brown community, right? Like, I think that's the community where I think is...
Real quick, before you continue, when you say brown...
Yeah. When I say brown, I'm talking about like Latinx.
Spanish, yes.
Maybe even...
Because Indians are also considered brown from India.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Pakistan, Bangladesh, those... Okay,
Yes.
That's what you consider...
Yeah, brown. That's what I would classify as brown.
Gotcha.
Latinx and Indian.
Want to be super...
Yes, absolutely. And I don't know if other people classify it the same way, but I know I classify it that way. So
I'm with you.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was
Okay.
too.
That's what I know
cool.
as well, but
Yeah.
people can be
yes,
sometimes.
absolutely. It's like Samantha.
Brown.
I don't know.
I'm not saying who else is brown.
I don't know.
Ain't but so many browns.
Listen, in 2026,
Seriously, right?
Super
Right?
careful.
Someone might
Listen.
identify as blue. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are correct.
You're not talking
It's-
about me.
It's true. It's so true. It's very true. You know, I think, unfortunately, right? I think it's, our community, people who look like us. It's we're like underrepresented, right? In most, like even like the clinicians, mental health professionals who are Black make up 7% of the mental health profession, right? At least to date, the last time that I checked, make up 7%, right? And I mean, it seemingly there's been more like, Black and brown mental health professionals becoming, therapists and psychologists and things like that. But the last time I checked, we make up 7% of the mental health profession and the rest is, white. And then that's why most of my doctors now, I intentionally seek out the Black ones. Like, because I'm like, I actually personally feel safer with like a Black doctor or a Black medical professional. I mean, some people may beg to differ, but me personally, I'm like, if they're a Black woman, I want them, like GYN, like my primary care physician, she's a Black woman. And we could just speak, like she's very good at her job, but then we can also speak like more candidly and we laugh and we just get each other's like jokes. So that also makes it cooler. But then I also just feel like, I think like the representation, this is why I always say like, I think like with, the Black men who have not taken my advice, who have, needed help, the most, I think, from what I've seen. I think so a part of it is like maybe a lack of trust in like who it is that they would be confiding in or opening up to. Even though we have confidentiality, HIPAA laws, like we can't.
But most people don't really understand that.
They don't.
They have no idea it's there. And they don't fully understand exactly what
Yeah.
it's supposed to do or what it's set for.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a challenge for sure. And that's why I always say to I'm like, we need more. We need more, you know, Black and brown folk in the mental health field, because I think it'll just make it just feel like better to
Right.
like the people who are, receiving the help.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that starts from young too, because when you're young, when someone tells you they're going to therapy or something like that, you think they're crazy, and that's a common misconception, especially with our parents and stuff. If you went to therapy, there's something wrong with you, and it's like, no, you go in so that you can be fixed, so that there isn't something wrong with you down the long term.
Right.
I think that misconception also stops people from going,
For sure.
because they don't want to be deemed as crazy or this or that because they go to therapy.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the stigma. It's the stigma. And literally that was why I created my podcast, right? Is to like destigmatize it, normalize the conversations around it, so that people don't think like, because the people who I've had on my podcast are cool as hell. Like they do dope things. They're amazing. They just have become comfortable having conversations about their mental health in general, or just talking about their journey. If they had some hiccups, on their journey with like mental health struggles, they've gotten to a place where they're comfortable speaking about it. So I think like just more conversations like that could also help. And I get that, right? Like at one point, yeah, like mental health just became like like in this
Okay.
right
Yeah.
okay to speak about, right? So I get why there would still be some reservations around it. That's why I'm never like upset by it, but I think it just sometimes I think it's, if anything, just kind of disheartening or sad to see when like I can clearly see that this person could benefit, but they are choosing to like do it their own way.
They're like super headstrong
and continue to like
yeah.
struggle real bad, right? And it's like I just feel like you don't ever have to like hit like rock bottom in order to say, okay, let me try this. But for some people, they want to do it
They
that
have
way.
to, right?
For some people, they want to do it that way, and I'm like, that hurts me, because I'm like, you don't have to do it this way, and I am a trusted source telling you don't.
Telling you the stove is hot. You don't got to touch it to see it's hot. I'm telling you.
And so that sometimes is my fear with like the people who, are, have their, resistance towards it.
I think if we start to compare it to like working out or doing something else, it might make sense to a lot of people.
Yes.
As in, you don't have to wait until you're obese to start working out. You could start now.
Yeah.
And then every day you just do a little bit and a little bit. And that's why some people do journaling. Because that also helps.
Yeah.
You can work out, you can journal, you can do meditation, you can see a therapist. And for me, like, one of the people who I admire, he's not a therapist, but like Charlemagne the God is always preaching mental health and therapy.
Is.
I've been to therapy before.
Yeah.
As part of like my VA, my VA program, all that stuff, like therapy is included. You can go anytime you want. And it doesn't have to be that something is wrong. It could be like, you just want someone to talk to.
Exactly.
Or let's say the week was a difficult week. And you're like, let me just book a therapy appointment and just sit for an hour and just talk to the therapist about, the week. And, sometimes you might not even want an answer. You just want someone to talk to for a bit, or you just want to speak and have someone listen.
Yep.
So I think destigmatizing therapy should be like a big thing that we really focus on.
Absolutely.
Because it is so beneficial. Like you feel really good afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that so much, and I second that. Like sometimes just talking to someone, right? Like everybody needs someone to talk to, right? And unfortunately,
in a healthy environment.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to be having a conversation on Call of Duty game chat. That's not going to work.
But see, like, look, is the barbershop a healthy environment?
Before it was.
What changed?
I don't know. I haven't been to a barber in so long.
You can still go if you want to. You can still go if you wanted to. I'm not saying you ain't have to stop. You can still go to the barber. There are people that go to the barbershop just to talk.
Hold on. Will, something funny, Will?
Wait, it was the snatch off. It was just...
What the song? Bald nigga? Bald nigga? Bald nigga? Boy, you look like a bowling ball. Boy, you look like a basketball.
Yeah, I didn't expect it either. I was like, wait. How did Not at all. I was like,
my bad.
No, you're fine. It was just like I knew that like you didn't have hair, but it was just the way you did it that had me like.
You see this guy?
Oh snap, yo! Back to just.
All right,
Oh,
Yeah.
composure
Mhm.
and scene.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god.
So yes, absolutely. I think just having, because sometimes you're like people's friends, people's peers, the people that they're around aren't always the healthiest people to talk to, right?
Mhm.
So, because of their own biases or their own upbringing or their own trauma, right? And they
Mhm.
just kind of, so sometimes it's good to just find someone who can give you sound, healthy advice. That's all. Or just talk to them freely, and know that like it's a safe space. They aren't judging you, and you can just talk freely for an hour, like that is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I got a headache. Go ahead, Mike.
I got you. I know this looks different on everybody, but how do you know when you're actually like starting to heal and you're
Ooh.
getting rid of that trauma and you're becoming a different person? Like, how do you know that?
Ooh, I love that one. I think the way that you respond to things start to change, right? Like your perspective shifts a little bit. Like you may see that the way you maybe would have responded or reacted to something like triggers specifically
Mm-hmm.
change a little bit. Like you pause more, you think more before you react and respond, and you may also start to feel better, right? Like I think it's also a feeling. You may feel happier with life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Life may feel worth living again, right? You may not feel like, things are dark and gloomy anymore and you're seeing the sun again, right? Like
You smile more.
yeah, you smile more, right? And then you may also start telling other people about therapy and
Yeah.
your journey, right?
Right.
And yeah, like I think if you're able to recount, and this is, I always think it's good to like look back sometimes, only to see how far you've come, right? That's the only time when looking back makes sense. Like look back at when you first started therapy, because I have clients now that I've been seeing, some of them 2-3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we do that, right? We're like reflecting on like when you first came in, this was a hurdle. Now look, like
Now
you're
look what
stepping
you-
over this.
right.
This is nothing, right? That is how you're able, like you can measure it. Like
Yeah.
you can really measure it, So
They feel lighter. The
Yes.
body is not as tense.
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like you're more laid back, you're more relaxed, right? You're not like uptight, you're not wound up on edge about
Everything.
Every little
everything.
thing. Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So your disposition just changes.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
that.
And healing is also like, it's not a destination, I always say. It's a journey, right? So like I don't ever think you get to a place.
You're never done.
Right. I don't think you ever get to a place where you're like, I'm healed. I think
No.
I just don't know that is real. Like, and that's where I think sometimes there's like, if we look at or compare like medical, like versus mental health, even though, mental health is
Medical,
of
I
it,
know.
right?
Yeah.
It's more of like, because I do think like if you have a sickness, right, a physical ailment, you can be healed, right, from it, right, with the proper medicine, maybe surgery, whatever it is, you can be healed. But I think with mental health, right, because the mind is always like, your mind is never like, it can expand, right? Like even with brain cells, right? You could lose
Mhm.
brain cells, you could gain brain cells back,
Right.
That's
right?
what they
Like
call,
Right.
brain rot, like scrolling too much.
Just doom
Exactly.
scrolling.
Right.
But it's a massive like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real thing going on right now. Like people, like a lot of people are questioning, do I have ADHD, right? Like, why can I remember things? Why do I have brain fog, right? Like all of these.
Right. All these little things.
He's like, absolutely, that's me, right? It's real.
100%. That's well.
Uh-huh. That's best way, see?
It's a real thing. And that social media, I am so concerned for us. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
Us, like our minds and the
Mhm.
phones and
Mhm.
like AI, like everything where we are. I'm just like, please, let's go back to books. Just for
And-
like,
With the other generation, they stuck with it. Like, this is the part of their everyday life. They're
Ev-
not going to know life without it. This is them. At least we know life without it a little bit.
Absolutely.
This is them for life now.
You grew up in the U.S., right?
yeah,
Okay, because I grew up in the Caribbean, so I know life without technology.
Mhm.
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
man.
That's different living out
That's
there.
Yeah.
different.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without the electronics, you value.
Wait, just come sit over here.
You know,
Just come sit over here.
No, yeah, come on.
Wait, hold up. Switch your man.
You have to get up, man.
I was just this is hot take.
It's a hot take. It's
I just
quick.
wanted to say real quick, it's just like the understanding that, without the electronics, it's just understanding the value of it, the nature
Yeah.
of valuing what you don't have. It's not easier to your reach.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because when you do have to the mix of, then you just get too swarmed into your mind.
Mhm.
Heavy, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that
Mhm.
take. For sure. I've experienced life without it and with it. And I enjoyed the earlier days where like
Social media.
yeah, like when Twitter and Facebook and even MySpace, right? Like AIM days, that's when it was like, oh, this is cool. This is fun. Now
Mhm.
I'm exhausted.
It was more
That's a
there were
fact.
more mental exercises with MySpace because you have to design it. You have to do
Yes.
this. You have to pick the correct music. Like
Exactly.
you're constantly thinking of
You
how
were
to make it
coding
fit.
and you didn't know how to
Yeah,
code.
pretty much, yeah.
You were learning how to code and you didn't
You
even
know?
realize it. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was just so much. And then I think I always say this. I think Vine is really what screwed us up because those 7-second videos
Mm-hmm.
and then you scroll and then 7 seconds and then you scroll
Yeah,
and then I think that completely ruined us
absolutely.
mentally.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we need to just go do a little like blast from the past. Like
Touch bass.
yeah. Yeah, just
touch
shut
bass.
Yeah, like just shut the
Yeah, touch
internet
bass,
down
yeah.
for a year and see what happens. I'm telling you, all of these symptoms that people are talking about they're experiencing
Mm-hmm.
may be reversed.
We'll definitely have a population decrease, which is not a bad idea.
You think
But,
so?
like,
No, it'll be the opposite. We're gonna have a population increase.
That's
But
what I
no
was-
internet? What? Niggas is
People
gonna be
who are-
They're gonna be
fucking.
hundred.
People who
Yeah.
are addicted right now are gonna lose their mind.
No,
Imagine
you know why?
everyone
Because
who's addicted to social media, whose businesses are on social media, whose
Mm.
entire personality is based off of TikTok and Instagram. You take that away from them.
But
Have you
guess
seen
what?
kids when they don't have their phone?
Yeah.
But look, but when you give them a week off without it, they
Well,
become
the
a
great
completely
resets,
different
yeah.
person. And that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get people, oh, you outside? Oh, wait, I could talk to you for real? Oh, snap.
What do you call
Different.
that? What Mike is saying, it's not a relapse. It's when you take, you know how you get locked up and let's say you do a lot of drugs and they put you somewhere like a
Well,
rehabilitation
you gotta get
center,
clean.
where you gotta get clean and that first like 48
A
hours.
detox. A detox.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it would be a detox.
Yeah, it'd
That's
be a
exactly
detox.
what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
The
'Cause
first 48 hours, the
it's the
first week is gonna be
worst.
rough.
It's the
Yeah, like if you go like 2-3 months of straight smoking, that week you gotta stop to pass the drug test. That week is difficult. Your
Yeah.
stomach is turning, all of that.
Yeah.
But eventually,
it gets better.
oh,
get
I'm
back.
okay. This is
Yeah.
this is all right.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't kill you.
Exactly.
You will be better.
I think
Mhm.
like a 5-day detox, like a 3-day detox from social media wouldn't be a bad idea.
Man, listen.
Once
that
we
would be
start really
amazing.
rolling with this thing and we get like a social media manager, I'm getting rid of my phone.
Listen.
I'm getting rid of my
Not
phone.
they have phones now where it's literally just the important stuff. So you can't download social media apps.
Yeah,
So like
give
the
me that.
only social media app is Spotify.
Mm.
So you can have your
those
music
little
on.
flip, those little flip.
No, it's like
Oh,
this,
okay.
but it's just they have only certain things. There is no app store. There's none of that. That's it. You can text people, you can call people, you can take pictures.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That's it.
Revert back, you know,
Yeah.
just a little bit,
Mhm.
just a little bit. Okay, so that was the new trial questions that you became the victim of.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah, that was a new.
I was
trial
nervous at first, but I really I like the questions.
Yeah, we try to keep it light and relatable.
Yeah.
You know, nothing
Absolutely.
too like use too much brain power.
Yeah, not too heavy.
Yeah,
No,
never
no,
too
no,
heavy.
no.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
That's
So-
not what we're here for.
No.
Yeah, we don't want the people
Yeah.
crying. Yeah.
All right, randomize the time.
Randomizer time. So she
Ooh.
said,
The first one was number 6.
"Oh boy."
Don't say the numbers no more. That's my fault. I just said it just now, but don't say the numbers.
Yeah.
So no one knows out there that this is number 6. We're switching the questions around, so don't worry about it, people. Anyway,
Mhm.
how much does someone have to pay you to marry them for a green card?
Ooh,
Come on, be honest.
Tell the truth.
I'm gonna say $1 million.
A mil?
1 mil.
Cool mil?
We could do it. Let's do it. Let's make some.
Okay.
Will said, let me
I'm
get my
not saying
checkbook.
America.
What is
Will said, let me get my checkbook.
Listen, I'm here for you know how much people done tried that with me? And I'm like, for free? Is you crazy?
For a meal though.
No, you just want to get marry me like that and you get all of the benefit. What I get?
Gotta get
Yeah.
something out of this.
1 million
Okay.
and let's make it happen.
Do you know once you sign that marriage certificate, it takes less than 2 years? Like within 5 months, they are able to work legally in the US. Like it
Ooh.
goes quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Might have to
Yeah. You might have
scam
to
going. Shoot.
come up somehow.
Shoot.
Listen.
Exactly. All right. Let's see here.
I got the next one.
Okay. Switch that one. We asked that one before. Switch that.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. Ask a different one.
This is just a little pause about it, guys. We are still here.
Hi. Go to 33.
33.
Go to 33.
Let's see.
Which letter is silent in the word sent? I think that was a little bit too difficult. I think that was too difficult.
I was gonna say C? What is that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's what we asked.
That's what we answered.
No, like you smell something. You
Yeah.
scent a scent.
Because I'm like assuming that like because the scent. I feel
Is
like
the S silent or is it the C?
right. And I want to say for some reason I'm saying C because you could pronounce C with like as a K,
Huh?
right? So I'm like maybe it's the C.
So like centipede is centipede?
It could be if we were in a different
Centipedes now?
if we were in a different world.
It
Yeah.
does have a different, what you call it though.
But
No,
then if we
she's
do
right.
centipede, then do we do kites? Or do we
English
do
is just a
sight?
stupid language. That's why.
Wow.
English is a stupid language.
What are we
Right.
doing right now?
Oh.
Exactly. I don't know. Like the English language is just
People out there, tell us, help us out.
nonsensical.
What letter is silent in the word scent? The one you smell. Not when we sent you a letter or the scent as in money. We talking about the scent you smell. Help us out, people.
Yeah, C is the first one that comes.
See?
I feel like
Yeah.
it's C.
Because if you say sent, then that's sending something to someone. Like I sent you. a-
S-E-N-T.
Yeah. That's S-E-N.
Right.
But C-E-N-T is money. Scent.
Sent, yeah.
So
Right.
So then when does it become
Oh.
smell? When does it become smell?
Tricky.
You know?
you see what I'm saying? English sucks.
It does.
All right, next one. How old would you be if you didn't know your actual age?
How old do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
How old do you feel?
I would be like a middle-aged woman. I would probably be like 45. I'm gonna say 45 because
Mhm.
every day I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
That should be a thing. We should have our actual age
Yeah.
and the age we really feel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even though like middle age is at this point, that's the thing. Age is like, they're saying like 40 is the new 30. Like everything is just going back in like,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just like, but I don't know. I be feeling older.
It's like, I'm just going to embrace it.
Yeah.
Just going to embrace it. Why
Yeah.
not? Mm-hmm.
I like these questions. They're funny. These randomized. Real funny.
All right. Next one. You got.
Oh, I got this one.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to introduce your kids to weed or alcohol? Or alcohol, I'll say that. So either the two of them or one or the other.
Or none.
Or none, yeah.
Am I gonna introduce them to it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I did tell y'all I'm Caribbean, so y'all know that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Red stripe.
I was going to say, think of the ancestors.
Hooray for beer.
Right.
Ancestors.
Listen. And the thing is because I am like I don't smoke weed or anything, but I am like I like wine. I like
Mhm.
fine wine. I like to drink,
Right.
but I'm also at a place now where I actually don't see like the benefit of drinking anymore.
Mhm.
Like at one point in my life, drinking did something for me,
Right.
right? It was like cool. When I go to social gatherings,
Mhm.
I feel like it's fun, right? It's recreational. But now I'm just like, the way I feel, this is why, hence like me feeling like a 45-year-old woman, a middle-aged woman, and no knock to 45-year-olds.